Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about doubles positioning. Please forgive my artwork. I am not very artistic. And don't make fun of my hair. I did cut my own hair on Friday, so I think it looks good. There are 4 positions in doubles: the server, the server's partner, the receiver, and the receiver's partner. So we're going to go to each position today. Now, although there's not a wrong way to play doubles, there's always a better way. First of all, there are 3 types of playing doubles. You have the 1 up, 1 back formation, you have the 2 up formation, and you have the 2 back formation. The best way of playing doubles is 2 up. Believe it or not, the worst way of playing doubles is 1 up, 1 back. Yet, that is the most recreational position. So it's the most common position you see, 1 up, 1 back. So why does it work if it's the worst way? The reason it works is because your opponents are also playing 1 up, 1 back formation. But if you want to get better at doubles, I would recommend you to try to move in and try to have the 2 up formation as much as you can during a tennis match. All right, the first position we're going to be speaking is the server. The server, when serving, should stand closer to the doubles alley here. Hopefully you can see that. That's an S, stands for server. There's a lot of players that like to stand a little closer to the middle. However, if you stand there, there's 2 disadvantages to that. Number 1, you can hit your partner in the back of the head. Number 2, if you stand here and the receiver ball is wide, bounces here, it goes out, then you're farther out to come to get to the ball. So the most logical position is to stand closer to the single sideline at the baseline. Now, having said this, in doubles, you're allowed to stand all the way up to the doubles alley. The next position is the server's partner. Server's partner, if you make an imaginary X in this box, you want to stand right at the middle here. And I'm going to put SP, which is server's partner. In recreational doubles, most players stand closer to the sideline because they want to cover the down the line shot. However, I'm going to show you that is not the best way to be at. Also, sometimes they stand closer to the net. Now, closer to the net works because if it goes over your head, you say yours, server runs all the way to this side, and then the partner comes over here. However, you want to be in the offense. If you stand farther back in the middle of the box, then you're able to do overheads. So you can be the aggressive. When you're serving, you're the offensive section. When you're receiving, you're the defensive. So you need to take advantage of the offense. Now, why I do not like to stand closer to the sideline? If the server serves the ball, let's assume, to the receiver's forehand, goes that way. And if you're standing here, then yes, you can get this shot, but you're far away to be an aggressive position if they return the ball cross court. Also, when the server serves cross court, anytime the receiver changes direction of the ball, in other words, you serve cross, they hit down the line. If they're 1 degree off, they're going to be late on their shots, so the ball's going to go wide. Also, the net at the doubles alley is 6 inches higher than the middle of the tennis court. So you have to not only change direction, but also hit it a little bit higher. Yet, if you stand in the center of the box and you take 1 step, if you step diagonal like this to meet the volley, you can actually cover all of this. The only shot that the receiver can make is this little section in the alley. If they can do that, you say, nice shot, and applaud their shot. It's a very low percentage shot. I'm not saying you cannot do it. It's just a low percentage. But there's no way that you can be aggressive by standing here. You'll never intercept this ball here. So from this position here in the center, number one, you can hit overheads when it's not that deep. Number two, you can cover most of the alley. But most importantly, you can poach to this side. From here, it's very impossible to poach. Now, poaching means, by the way, crossing the service line to the other side of the court. That works in two ways. Number one, you must communicate that you're poaching to your partner, the server. That way, if you say, I'm poaching, the server knows he or she needs to go all the way to the other side of the court. So just in case the receiver sees you moving, you're covered no matter what. But the second most thing is, to poach, you got to anticipate the cross-court shot. You cannot wait till the ball is over. You have to stay there and anticipate. So you move slightly as soon as your opponent is about to make contact with the ball. So if this pen is the ball, and I'm about to make contact, right about here, I take the poach. That means your opponent cannot change directions already. Now you can poach and meet the ball right at the center, and you put it away. So you're playing an aggressive position here. Now, communication is vital in doubles. Personally, I like to communicate after each point. Some people like to do hand signals, whatever works best for you. But communicate. Don't just, obviously, if the ball's coming real slow, I call a floater, then you can make a determination without telling your partner you're about to do that. But try to be prepared beforehand to have better success. The next position is the receiver. I'm going to put an R here. Once again, the receiver should be standing approximately around the baseline, close to the single sideline. A lot of receivers like to stand here because if they're right-handed, they don't like to hit backhands. But if they hit a wide serve, you're not going to be able to reach it. This is the center from here to here. So this is the best position to return. Also depends on the speed of the serve. Obviously, if you have a fast server, you want to stand farther back. If you have a slow serve, you want to be closing in. Now, can anyone tell me what's the problem? Let's assume it's a very soft ball. The receiver's inside the box here. What's the disadvantage to that? That you get stuck in no man's land. You might get the next ball right at your feet. So make sure when you're inside the court, you have two options. You return the ball and immediately get back to the receiving position at the baseline. Or if you want to be aggressive, start coming into the net. But don't hang in there in that no man's land section. Obviously, you have three options as a receiver. You have an option to receive cross court, which is a higher percentage shot. You also have the choice to hit down the line, which is a low percentage shot. And you have a third option that you can lob over the person's head. And then the final position, which is the most controversial position, is the receiver's partner. Normally, you will stand right around the service line, closer to the center line there, center service line. Now, this position serves as a dual function, obviously, to move along with your partner, but you also get to call this horizontal line here. So if the ball is here, you can tell if that ball is out. Your partner would not be able to tell if that's in or out. So you're making the call here when the ball hits. Obviously, it has to be a fair call. But I would recommend the receiver never to argue that call with your partner. even if you think it's out in, because this player can see that ball in, but this player can see the ball out. They have a better view. Now, obviously, if it's way off, if the ball was way hot in here and your partner calls it out, you can correct that. You never want to cheat. But sometimes we don't see the same way that the receiver's partner can't see this serve over here. This person, the receiver, has the best view of that serve. This one is far away from the vertical line. So that's the first position. Now, the reason you want to stand here, in case, because you don't know what kind of return your partner will give. Obviously, the cross-court return is the best option. If your partner returns the ball cross-court, it is your responsibility to move to the center of the court. I call that the GVP, good volley position. So you move forward. If you're playing one up, one back formation, when this ball goes back, then you move back again, okay? But the thing that I see most people making mistake in doubles is as soon as the receiver hits the ball, they move forward. But you don't know yet if that person hit it down the line or not. So if you move forward and he or she hits it down the line, they have an open court down the middle, and you don't want that. So you must wait till the ball has gone cross court, past your opponent's, the net person. Once he passes, you move up. So what's the next thing you do? Now you come here, you're in the aggressive position. You gotta wait what the server now will do with the next shot. Now from here you have the option to, be prepared for a lob from down the line or cross court. But your goal here is try to intercept the cross court shot from the server. So from here, and as I mentioned to you earlier, you want to anticipate that. Don't wait till the ball passes you. Otherwise, you're doing neck exercise drills. And this is what I see most common. They're at the net. Let me get my racket here. They're at the net here. The partner's at the baseline, and all they do this. They're not getting involved. And then they say, yours, he goes over the head, they move over to the other side. So you want to be aggressive. You see the ball coming, anticipate and start heading forward at an angle. So once your partner hits the ball cross court, once it passes the server's partner, you move forward. Then you try to anticipate it, try to intercept. If the ball is too far out of your reach, then now you go back again. So you're making a triangle here. And you should be moving that the whole time as a receiving team. So you start in defense, you go to offensive position, you try to win the point, you cannot, you go back to a defensive position. The server's partner should be doing the same on the opposite side. But this is the key of winning doubles, playing that position properly. Don't just stand in the middle here. Don't just stand here. Move up, try to get the ball. You didn't get it, go back. And you keep doing that. Obviously, one of those balls you're going to hit. And as I mentioned to you earlier, if you can move to the net, it's even more advantage to you. The receiver, if the ball comes hard, you do not need to take a full swing to return the ball. Just get a shorter backswing, block it, and start moving forward. You can do like a little approach shot coming in right behind it. If you do choose to play two up, when you get up as a here, whichever side, we've been taught a lot to when you're both at the net, like tie a rope. When one person moves to one side, they drag you to that side. You move forward, they drag you forward. And that is true. However, you should try never to be parallel to each other. One player should be farther back a little. So you kind of stagger. Since you're coming from the back and this person's already up front, this will be the best position, not this one. So you're a little bit staggered there. And the person closer to the net should have the right to every ball down the middle. You can always decide also the forehand only. But usually the person closer to middle can intercept the ball sooner. So that's who should get the balls down the middle. So that's a better position there. It's a little bit staggered up at the net. although you both are at the net. As I mentioned to you earlier, there's no wrong way. There's just a better way of playing tennis. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I know I'm going this briefly. I'm trying not to keep it too long. But that's all I can think of right now of all the doubles position you can do. And I hope when you go back out on the court, you can start trying some of these options. And feel free to contact me, and whenever in court, we can do a doubles lesson. Doubles is fun. I personally love doubles. When I used to play doubles in Europe, I had a great partner who was younger than me, but he was aggressive. And I was more of a consistent player. So we had both. We had a big server, a big return, and I had a placement. So it worked well for us. There's another thing. One could be left-handed, one could be right-handed. Interesting enough, we like to always put the stronger person in the backhand or the ad side over here, and the weaker on this side because of their backhand. But did you know that most balls in doubles come in the middle? So if you have a weaker backhand and you're standing here, you're going to get a lot more backhands. So you're actually in not a very good position. Most people, let me turn around here, hit a backhand across their body. So they're going from outside in. Now, if you're standing on the outside, you can return the ball and hit it away from the net person, which works perfect. But if you're hitting that same shot from the deuce side, you're going to hit it right to the net person. So I would suggest to have this stronger backhand be on the deuce side. Feel free to try that next time you're on the court. And doubles is great because in singles, when you lose, you have no one to blame. But in doubles, if you win, it's all because of you. And if you lose, it's all your partner's fault. That's just a joke. But I hope you enjoyed this doubles position. I hope you were able to see the graph and understand all my Scrabble here. And I hope to see you back on the court. And when we go back out, feel free to call me up and email me at tennispro@riverstone.com. And we can have a doubles strategy lesson. And I can promise you, you will be better off the next time you go out and play. Thank you. Have a great day. Love you all. And wishing you the best to you and your family. God bless you.